Like I just said in the previous tutorial, we're going to learn one of the most important things that you need to do when working with Ableton, and that is saving your project. So let me quickly show you how that works. First of all, what you need to do is you need to go up to the top left-hand corner to File and go to Save Live Set, and then it will open this up. I'm just going to save this on the desktop for now, and I'm going to call this Ableton Live Course. And let me just give you a little tip how I do things when it comes to naming conventions. So if I just call this Ableton Live Course and save it, when I make major or minor changes and just keep saving it like that, I just have that particular version and none of the history of the project. But what I like to do is say, for instance, this is called Ableton Live Course, and then at the end of it, I'll go 01_A. The reason I do this is because anytime I make a minor change, I'll save it again, but I will save it then as 01B and 01C with every minor change that I make. So a minor change could be if I add a few new parts to the drums like I just did. But if I make a major change, like say for instance, I decide I don't want it to be at 120 BPM, I want it to be at 80 BPM, all of a sudden the song sounds pretty much completely different. Or if I had drums in it before and I decide to leave the drums out and I bring in congas, something that significantly changes the way the song sounds, then I go here and I change the number to, in this case, 2, and then I'd start off at A again. With all minor changes to the first version, it'll be 01A, 01B, 01C, and then a major change comes along and it'll become 02A, and then continuously B, C, D with all of the minor changes until the next major change comes. And that way, I find at least, I have a really good overview when I need to go back in time and select something where I want to find something specific. It's a lot easier to find that way. So let's just call this 01A, and I'm going to save it. And now, if I open up my desktop, we have this particular file right here. That's the one I just saved. Now, if I go into this file, you're going to see this isn't just a file, it's a folder. So I'm just going to go into this folder now, and you'll see there's a bunch of stuff in here. Let's go to the Live Concepts chapter again in the Ableton manual, and we'll just go down here to Live Sets. This explains it really well what the structure is all about. So 4.2 Live Sets. The type of document that you create and work on is called a live set, which looks like this. So if I just go back to my folder, you'll see it is this file right here. The one I saved is 01A. Live sets reside in a live project. So the live project is the folder that we created here, and it says project on the end. Live sets reside in a live project, a folder that collects related materials and can be opened either through the file menu's open command or via Ableton Live's browser. So this is just something you should be aware of when you save your file for the first time. You're going to have a folder, which is in this case, the project folder. And within that, you'll find these ALS files, which are the live sets. And like I said, if you use my naming convention and say you have 01A, B, C, D, there would be 4 of these live sets. And they once you double click on them, then it will open up, in this case, our Ableton Live set. So that's what happens when you save your file. My challenge to you in this tutorial is every time throughout this course, when you make either a major or minor change, try out this naming convention that I just showed you. Start off with whatever your song title is with 01A, and then throughout the course, whilst you're making minor changes, then just change the letter, and then when you make major changes, change the number at the beginning. Next up, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be programming a percussion part to go along with our drums. And like I said, we have different ways of inputting signals into Ableton Live. You know, we've just used the computer keyboard. In the next step, we're going to be using the mouse to actually program in our parts instead of playing them in. And we're going to be using the piano roll to do that. So I'll see you in the next tutorial.